On the surface, she seems like the least threatening figure you could imagine, a small maid tucked away in the Emperor's palace, blending into the background as nothing more than a servant. Yet beneath that unassuming exterior lies a survivor forged in the harshest of environments, a woman whose intellect and instincts turn her into one of the most dangerous players in the entire court. This is Maomao, the apothecary of the pleasure district turned lady-in-waiting, and today we investigate where she truly stands in our threat level system. To start, we must first analyse Maomao's combat feats and physical power to determine her strength in survival situations. Unlike warriors, Maomao doesn't fight with blades or magic. Instead, she draws from survival instincts sharpened in the unforgiving slums of the pleasure district. That upbringing gave her threat detection far beyond her sheltered peers. The ability to read true intentions, endure hardship, and remain calm under pressure. Despite her fragile appearance, her durability is higher than most. She pushes through grueling shifts with little sleep, shrugs off being struck or shoved, and never cracks under strain. We see this clearly throughout the series. When she was first sold into servitude, she didn't panic. Instead, she calmly assessed her new surroundings, identified potential dangers, and adapted instantly to life in the palace. Even in seemingly smaller moments, like episode 22, Blue Roses, she demonstrates extreme endurance and awareness, working for a straight month with little sleep and pure focus to create blue roses in time for the garden party, a feat that for anybody but her would have been impossible. And when the stakes rise, Maomao never hesitates to find the truth, even if it costs her life. Most notably in episode 19, during the altar of the sapphire sky, she pushes Jinsi out of the path of a collapsing pillar, sacrificing herself and ending up with her leg pinned. Yet even in pain, she remained composed until her mission was completed. This natural instinct to throw herself at problems full speed is a type of willpower many can't match. But given her fragile frame, it could lead to more disasters than good if she picks the wrong moments to strike. Yet her endurance and focus are highly valuable in the field of combat. But survival is only one piece of her threat profile. Raw power isn't everything. The most dangerous weapon in the palace is often the mind, and in a battle of wits, Maomao proves herself as a master. Her worldview is steeped in pragmatism. Growing up in the red light district, she learned that betrayal, abuse, and even death were not the exceptions but inevitabilities in life. Instead of breaking her, these lessons sharpened her. She knows her place in the hierarchy as someone considered expendable, and she uses that to her advantage, playing the obedient servant while quietly maneuvering events in the shadows. Her investigations reveal just how dangerous her intellect is. In episode 4, she uncovers Lady Lihu's mysterious illness, realizing that her makeup contained lethal lead. Without hesitation, she slapped the incompetent attendant, detoxified the consort through a controlled diet, and even devised a steam bath treatment to restore her health. She later links a burning storehouse to the metalsmith's will, unraveling a hidden assassination plot no one else could see. She discreetly intervenes when she notices subtle abuse towards consort Lishu, protecting her when everybody else turns a blind eye, and at the garden banquets, spits out her broth and exposes yet another assassination attempt. Much of her influence comes from what could be called weaponized obedience. By following orders to the letter, she allows her masters to discover the truth she's already uncovered, protecting herself while still steering the outcomes in her favor. Even her quirks, like feigning coin obsession or pretending to be an innocent servant, are tools designed to disarm others. Behind the mask, she builds quiet networks with kitchen staff, eunuchs, guards, and high consorts like Gyokyo. Through those ties, she trades favors, secrets, and influence, creating a soft power base few in the palace could rival. And with that, we move on to the final stage of the investigation, her unique traits that elevate her from lowly servant to high priority threat in the field. Her greatest edge is her apothecary genius. Trained by her adoptive father Lumen, she possesses encyclopedic knowledge of medicines and poisons. She doesn't just study them though, she tests them on herself, developing partial resistances and the ability to treat her own symptoms when poisoned. Time and again, her mastery saves lives. She prevents the death of children harmed by tainted powder, halts a double suicide in the Vertigris house, and even deduces salt poisoning in a retired general. In her hands, poison isn't just a tool, it's a language only she is fluent in. Yet, of course, she is not without weaknesses. Her insatiable curiosity towards rare poisons also drives her into unnecessary danger. And as her influence grows, the camouflage of plainness she once relied on becomes harder to maintain, which makes her a bigger threat. And with all that, the investigation has come to an end. So where will we put Maomao in the threat level system? When we weighed everything together, Maomao presents a fascinating case. She does not possess the raw combat ceiling of warriors. Her body is fragile, and in direct fight she would fall short. But what she lacks in brute strength, she more than compensates for in survivability, intellect, and apothecary mastery. Her instincts, honed in the harsh slums of the pleasure district, give her the awareness and composure to endure situations that would overwhelm most. Her sharp mind allows her to uncover poisons, conspiracies, and hidden abuse long before anybody else expects danger, turning her obedience into a weapon and her low status into camouflage. And her encyclopedic knowledge of medicine and poisons elevates her from a simple servant to a battlefield-shaping force, someone who can save allies, dismantle assassinations, and eliminate threats without ever drawing a blade. So with all that said, we have to put Maomao into threat level standard at the B class. Not a warrior on the battlefield, but a hidden power whose cunning resilience and apothecary genius grant her leverage most soldiers could only dream of. That concludes Maomao's investigation. Do you think she deserves a higher ranking, or does her lack of combat ability hold her back? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next target. Thank you for watching.